What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review. Tonight we will find out what Kurt Angle's big secret and reveal is, and the number one contender spot for SummerSlam with Brock Lesnar, or whoever faces Brock Lesnar, which will be the Roman Reigns or Samoa Joe. But we kicked off the show with the show. Well, I said kicked off the Joe, but kicked off the show with Dean Ambrose coming out with a chair and calling out the whole Miz Taraj crew, and he's gonna make them see the real world again when they wake up. Until Seth Rollins came out there, and Seth Rollins says, asked Ambrose, why you picking a fight that you couldn't win on your own, and Rollins pretty much Clinton talked about how Ambrose wanted to stay out of his business, but we're fighting with a chair and everything. But Rollins says, I get you that you're tough and everything, but you need to settle down so we can come up with a better plan. But Ambrose says, oh, of course, Mr. Architect and stuff. You think we should have a plan and everything. But Ambrose says it's not it's all about you, so you pretty much just get out of here, scram, go away. But Rollins says, I'm going to answer your question, and you want to take the fight to the Miz, right? And he says he's going to stand by his side to go against him. But Ambrose say, I called you once a brother, once us. And he says the Shield stood for something, alright? Because I don't know you. He said, you're not the same guy I looked at once, alright? And you betrayed us. You stabbed us in the back. You broke our hearts and everything, Ambrose's heart. We were brothers. And Rollins says that was 3 years ago when the Shield broke up. And he was sorry about it. And he has to live with that every day. But we moved on, and he told Ambrose it's time to move on with the Shield. It's over. It's dead. Pretty much. But Ambrose said, listen, Ron says, my actions will speak louder than words, since, Ambrose doesn't trust him and everything. And he says, you know what? I want you to hit me in the back with this chair if you feel better. And he pretty much says, do it, damn it. And tell him to do it, but get it out of your system. But Ambrose pretty much threw the chair off until the rest of the Miz Taraj came out. Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, and the Miz. And you're trying to get your issues out. And he talked about Nashville, since they are in Nashville, Tennessee tonight. And we're gonna take you out right now, since they brought their own chairs. We came prepared. And they pretty much went Shield style surrounding the ring. Ambrose tried to go for Miz, as Rollins tried to go for Axel and Dallas. They pretty much, the numbers game got on them, and they pretty much got the crap kicked out of them. Both of them, and pretty much beaten with chairs. So they left them with a pile of their own heap, which, I don't know, the crowd didn't really react at first until one of them hit with a chair. Rollins tried to get the life into the crowd, so yeah. I guess somehow, some way, everybody says it's gonna be a match in the SummerSlam mini Shield versus the whole Miz Taraj thing. Alexa Bliss went against Bayley. Nia Jax pretty much came out to help Alexa Bliss until Sasha came out. She pretty much took out Nia Jax from ringside and with a drop kick. Bayley pretty much was about to hit a roll up. But then after that, she had Bayley to belly and win. So at least Bayley actually won a match. Maybe they're trying to make Bayley relevant again. I don't know. But it's been really tough to rebuild Bayley, to be honest. Because I don't know. After that whole This Is Your Life and that pole match, they really have buried Bayley. 9 times out of 10, all 4 of them will most likely be in a fatal 4-way at SummerSlam for the title. That's what I see going, since Kurt Angle later on said it'll be Sasha versus Bayley next week. And whoever wins will face Alexa at SummerSlam. 9 times out of 10, Nia Jax to interfere. Fatal 4-way at SummerSlam. There you go. They talked about the ESPY Awards, and I forget the kid's name, but they gave him an award. He was on SmackDown at one point. Stephanie McMahon getting an award. Who cares? Because I know a lot of people know the real reason behind their plans, so I'm not going to get into that. Kurt Angle was walking around and talking to Corey Graves, saying you're a good friend and everything, and question, can we do this? Can I do this? Is this going to be the right thing? And he says, your friendship means to the both of us. Next was Titus O'Neil sitting in a chair with Apollo Crews and Akira Tozawa talking about the Titus worldwide they said. And he talked about how Crews lost to Strowman, the way a lot of people have, and how Tozawa had to pin Neville last week until Daivari came out there and said, "You have no honor, and you're begging for rematches and stuff." So it'll be Akira Tozawa versus Ari Daivari later in the night, as Daivari said he's gonna dedicate this to the Iran. I think he was an Olympic wrestler, but he won at the Olympics last year. I may have forgot his name. I'll try to look it up later in the show, but he was dedicated to him. So I don't know. At least I guess it's another cruiserweight match. And by the way, it was a tag team cruiserweight match. Brian Kendrick, who I don't even know if he was even on TV at the point because I don't watch 205 Live, and Drew Gulak. I only know little of the No Fly Zone thing when against Mustafa Ali and Jack Gallagher. Once again, probably a 2-minute match. Mustafa Ali get the 450 splash or inverted one, pinning Brian Kendrick. So I don't know. The crowd still doesn't really react to the cruiserweights, so they've really killed this division. Enzo came out, who was getting way too much mic time in my opinion, and really began to say the same words, and even I kind of thought he got annoying out there at one point. Because they've almost given this guy almost like 10-20 minute long promos, if he asks me, every week now. And it's not a man's business, and stuff. My actions speak louder than words. He talked about Cass, what they're fighting for, and all Cass did was just pick up and throw people around. You were numbered at 7-foot guy that never got us any tag team titles. And he said Cass was nothing, and he even played the footage of Big Show beating the crap out of him last week. So he questioned his size throughout this whole thing. And he says you bounced the check because you suck pretty much, and you're folded like a lawn chair and everything. And he was gonna do a soft thing until Cass came out. And by the way, I'll say one thing. Both these guys are someone in a tough spot right now. One thing, they got a lot of heat backstage. I know Enzo's not really happy with his position right now, and I can understand why. When you look at it after they broke up his tag team, you got Roman kicking him off a bus, and Cass there. And just kind of speak on this real quick. I believe has heat backstage for being a Trump supporter, which is kind of funny because Vince McMahon is friends with him, and his wife is part of his cabinet. But in these dire times, motherfuckers ain't fucking with you a Trump supporter that much when you look at it. So he's got a lot of heat on that. I don't know what he said back there, but in a way that is instant heat when you look at it. But then it's kind of funny that the owner of the company is friends with him and stuff. So I don't know, it's the locker room, so I can't really speak on it. But yeah, like I said, in these dire times. But continuing on, Enzo talked about Cass. Cass came out. He says, "You don't know when to shut up." And he says, talked about Graves, and if it wasn't for you, none of this would have happened. And which is a lot of stuff with Corey Graves lately. And Cass came down, was gonna beat up Enzo. He says, "You want some of me? You want some of me? You want to fight? You want to fight?" He ran out to ringside, and then he took a kid with him and says, "You want to see Cass get punked here?" Yeah. And he says, "How you doing?" And then Big Show came out, and they fought each other all over the place as Enzo looked on, and I think he threw the kid off of him then. And it got to a point where Big Show's nose was bleeding out there, and Cass just kept kicking him, and then Enzo runs in like an idiot and just gets big booted like it was nothing. That whole segment went really long, if you ask me. I know they're trying to get the Cass whole thing over, but that segment was very long. Enzo gets way too much mic time now for some odd reason. It's really strange to me. I'd like somebody to point out that, Cass may well run next time, because Floyd Mayweather punched Big Show in the nose and made him bleed, and you saw Big Show chased after them. And I don't know, Enzo, I just don't know where this is going, but they're giving that man way too much mic time. They're giving him nearly 10-20 minutes, and like he's repeating himself over and over at one point that I got lost what he was saying. And Big Show versus Cass will be at SummerSlam most likely, so watch that coming. And then pretty much after that we go into Roman Reigns and tell how he's going to beat Samoa Joe. And even talked about John Cena there, Mr. Free Agent, but he hasn't showed up on Raw yet, even though he's on SmackDown. If he can show up on any show, he's free agent. Ambrose and Rollins were arguing about the whole Miz thing until Kurt Angle says, you know what, you're going to face two of them, but they wanted all three. Okay, 2-on-3 then. Elias Sampson, who wants to walk with Elias, talked about Nashville. I've been here and played some songs until people chanted, we want Balor. And says, we'll get to him in a minute. Balor came out, which I thought it was kind of weird that, first off, I thought this whole feud was done last week when Finn Balor beat him clean, but I guess we're continuing this for some reason. I don't know why. And it ended in a DQ, so I guess we can't have Samson there lose again. So Samson pretty much grabbed his guitar and went Jeff Jarrett on him and smashed him over the head, which it was a little blood out on his head. And then who shows up next? Bray Wyatt most likely will lose this feud against Finn Balor if that happens. Which now is a DQ match with Balor and Samson next week. 9 times out of 10, Bray Wyatt will interfere, insta feud. They'll have a match at SummerSlam. Number one, it's even surprised that Bray Wyatt actually won a feud, really, because he did beat Rollins, so he did win the feud, even though the feud never made no sense going into, and they were fighting over Seth Rollins being on the video game cover. But I guess he won a feud, and some say the last time he really did win a feud was when he was going against Ambrose, but that was almost 1 or 2 years ago. Damn near. Will Bray Wyatt even have a chance? Every time I just see Bray Wyatt, he just rambles saying like, "Why you lying, man? You don't know nothing, man. You're egging it, man. You're a liar, nightmares, whatever." Finn Balor will most likely destroy him at SummerSlam because I don't see him really losing to Bray Wyatt, but I know it'll be since there's no DQ, he'll find a way and he'll interfere, and he will lose. So Bray Wyatt will lose to Finn Balor. Insta feud right there. It's a lot of broke stuff up there. Other than that, with the Jeff Jarrett guitar shot on him, it's funny they're in Nashville, so Jeff Jarrett will be hanging around somewhere at the Impact headquarters or whatever. So that's one thing about that. Next thing you know, or it's a fatal 4-way, I don't know that. Honestly, there's a lot of multi-man matches heading to SummerSlam. I see a lot of fatal 4-ways or triple threats going into SummerSlam for some odd reason. Even now, a multi-man or multi-women matches, so expect that to happen. Next thing you know, Tozawa went against Daivari, which ended in a stopping the match, and then Daivari dedicated to Hassan Mizandi, and so does that mean Tozawa's gonna leave the Titus brand for him ending the match since he was pissed at him for ending the match? I don't know. Kind of weird, really, how the match ended. Next was one of the biggest things out of the night, which Kurt Angle. He came out, he was nervous, he's been distracting people for the past few months, and then he said, WWE's ready to accept this, my family's ready to accept this, we're all ready to accept this, and everybody was thinking that Stephanie McMahon or for some reason everyone was just saying Dixie Carter, which I don't know why people want her. They already complained about her being in TNA. Why do you want her on WWE now? Not Dixie, but Kurt Angle said he dated a woman in college until recently. They decided they gave birth to a boy, so I guess it's a bastard son type of deal. And he's given up for adoption, and he was raised by great parents, and he got taught great American values, and he's played sports. He got his degree and excelled in wrestling in college. And you all may know him as a WWE super wrestler right now. Which, first off, once they went into the whole his son type deal, and that everybody was all ready to accept it, the fans, the people in the back, the WWE and stuff, I kept saying it was Chad Gable. I said Chad Gable like 3-4 times. And I know people, like I said, people said it was even Stephanie. Some people thinking Dixie Carter. Some people were even thinking Bischoff. But once I kept saying Chad Gable, but then he said Jason Jordan. So Jason Jordan is not a newest member of Raw. So once again, that's another tag team that has been killed off. And American Alpha was a really great tag team. They let American Alpha get stale. That was the problem. Did they win the titles? Yes, they did. But they never really did anything with the tag team division on SmackDown until probably recently. And American Alpha got lost in the shuffle. And now they really killed American Alpha because now Jason Jordan is on Raw. And as Angle was about to cry, Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan hugged each other and stuff. And I don't know if the crowd really cared, but it just felt very flat. Um, it was uneventful, and this was like kind of a good and bad thing in a way. But I didn't know we were going to do a whole bastard son angle and Jason Jordan. And I like Jason Jordan. I like American Alpha, but I don't know. They know he's into as a single star. I guess he looks like Kurt. Maybe I don't know. So I guess Kurt's son is black now, or bastard son. I'm surprised this wasn't Chad Gable, but it's Jason Jordan. I don't really see where this is gonna go. I don't know. I didn't see the interview after the show too, but I'll have to check that out. So I guess, like I said, well, Jordan's on Raw and Gable's on SmackDown, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Or is it trade or something? Because now that's one less. It says one less tag team now, and it's not a lot of tag teams. WWE's killed a lot of tag teams recently. Yeah. And hey, the Hype Bros may be next. Because you see what we're doing, Enzo and Cass. Now there's no more American Alpha. And the other teams that just either irrelevant or just nobody cares. And that's another tag team that's dead now. You don't get American Alpha no more. Gable's on SmackDown and Jordan's on Raw. The Hardys went against the Revival. There were huge delete chants in the crowd, which was a really good match. It may end up in the SummerSlam. Jeff was going to do a Swanton Promise where the Revival took him out and got the pin and held the tights, beating the Hardys. Which we'll give the Revival one thing: those guys can throw punches. They mean just fists, no flips, no jumps, anything out there. But people are going for the Hardys, delete, but De Niro, obsolete chance. So yeah, but a good tag match overall. Next thing you know, Roman Reigns came out to go against Samoa Joe, which was a good match. It was a good match, I'll give it that. But I think people knew what was going to happen in the end. Strowman came out. Strowman beat up both Roman and Joe. Joe tried to hit the choke on him as Roman hit him with Superman punches. But Strowman pretty much hit power slam both Joe one time and Reigns two times. So we all kind of knew what was happening. Most likely it'll end up in a fatal four-way at that's what people are saying on here. Triple threat. Braun Strowman must heal really quickly to come back that fast. It was coming as he took both of them out. So yeah, as for this, and the reveal thing, I don't know. This whole secret, we think it could have been a love thing he was doing with an affair or something. I didn't think it'd be one of these sun-like angles, so I don't know. And even like I said, well, the crowd really did not care, even know who Jason Jordan even was. So it looks like they just did not care when you look at it. But hey, that's my Raw review. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Sorry, things messing up again. And I'm about to get screwed over. Every time. Every freaking time. Well, I'm keeping the clock running here. Like I said, check the review, live reactions, everything. I'm out of here. Peace. And R.I.P. to George Romero, one of the godfather of zombie movies, who laid the blueprint out for zombie movies of all the Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead movies. So I'm out of here. Guys, later. Peace.